Short story about this car. It was sold to me from a customer of mine. Car would start and then it would all of a sudden just die out. There was stop leak in here. What I ended up doing was I replaced the motor, and I'm in the process of putting this back together right now. Got a little bit of a tick that I don't like, but what I'm going to end up doing is I'll look over the valve latch one more time. I adjusted it earlier, but I still don't like the way it sounds. Got a little bit too much of a tick on there. Man, I do got to say I've been at it with this car trying to fix the idle. I did have a problem with the idle air control valve. Diagnosed that. It wasn't responding. It was, doing the idle surge, going up and down, up and down, up and down. Then I replaced the idle air control valve because the original one wasn't responding. Like I said, I cleaned it up, did everything that I could to it. I did the test going to see if the continuity between the throttle position, the idle air control valve and the computer were good. Everything checked out, changed it out, and I noticed the response. Everything seemed okay. Checked the map sensor on this one. Didn't seem too good. Like the specs were a little bit off, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and replace it with another one that I have over here. When I did that, I noticed a difference. It was a positive difference, so I liked it. Been checking the fuel pressure over here just to make sure everything's all right, because it has another issue that I got to work on as well. It's starting a little strange. It doesn't start like it's supposed to. It doesn't start smooth. It seems like it's I don't know, like it's just something is keeping it from turning the way it's supposed to, and then finally it turns. So I'm suspecting that I might have a leaking injector in there somewhere. But going back to this, 1400 RPMs, didn't know where to go because I checked everything out. TPS looks good. The only problem was that idle, the TPS was like at 0.59 voltage, and it's supposed to be real close to 0.50. So I was like, man, what's going on? I started messing with the throttle right here, and I tried to push it back manually, and every time I did that, I noticed a change. And I said, man, what's going on? I said, let me take this thing off and let me see what's going on here. So I did notice there's like a set screw here that somebody wasn't supposed to touch, but I noticed evidence of somebody touching because this set screw right here has like it looks like it's been stripped a little bit. So I know somebody's, there it is. There it is right there. Somebody's been messing with this. So now I know that I have to back that off and set it properly so that the engine can idle better. And so how am I going to do that? You can do it with a voltmeter if you want, and you can connect to the 5-volt lead and the ground over here and set it that way. What I'm going to do is I got a scan tool. I'm going to put the key in the on position, and I'm going to set it with my scan tool. So I'll show you that in just a second. So of course we got key on, engine off. We got to have power to the throttle position sensor first to make sure that we're getting voltage to it and the proper voltage. I've already been messing with this, and as you can see here from my scan tool that we got 0.47 volts, and what I want it to be at while it's at idle is I want it to be at 0.50. So I got to mess with this until it goes up to 0.50. Now I got a 2.5 millimeter Allen key. Believe it or not, this engine's hot. 2.5 millimeter Allen key. And what I'm doing is I already backed off this set nut. I'm turning the screw left and right over here until it goes up to 0.5. Right now it's dancing around 0.49 and 0.51. I think I'm going to keep it like that because on average it's at 0.5. Now it's not dancing. There it goes. And I'm going to try to see if I can get it when I set the screw. But after I do this, everything should be good. Now, I don't want you to mess with this. Fair warning. Don't mess with this screw until you check your until you check your TPS voltage at idle. This is only if somebody's already backed it out. This could be your issue. This is not something that you do just because you tried everything else. Because if this is already set, which is supposed to be, that paint's going to line up with the paint that's already on there on the set screws, and you should be good as long as that's okay. I might want to clean this garbage up as well while I'm here, but I think I fixed my issue. I'll show you what it sounds like after I start it up, after I get it set to 0.5 volts. So I didn't get it exactly to 0.5 volts, but I got it to 0.49, which is way better than 0.59, because at 0.59 it was idling at 1400 RPM, and that's when the motor was already hot. So I didn't like that. That's why I started doing this. Next. Look at that. We went from 1400 RPM. I should have taken a video of it when it first started. 1400 RPM, and now we're down at 700 RPM. 730 something. Let me see where we're at exactly. 720, low, high 600s. I do have a little bit more stuff I have to fix. Hope this helped everybody out.